What is up, Romanisti, fans of Italian football? You just saw it. Italy advance to the Euros. They get past Ukraine, and oh boy, that could have been a penalty committed by Brian Cristante. Let's just look the other way for now. But I think the first thing, let's get to it straight away. This is going to be super long. We're going to go over um, Nakata and Totti's reunion. We're going to look at the player ratings of Italy, Ukraine, and then Roma's new possible colorways to be rumored. So a couple things. This is like a midweek update / look at what's going on with the Azzurri. So I think we can jump right into Gab Marcotti's tweet here. Looked like a pen to me. Yeah. Ooh, I think we're going to just, like I said, move past that. And we got the player ratings here from Football Italia. And we've got Donnarumma pulls off 2 big saves. Di Lorenzo, they make a good point here. Mudryk was faster, gave him a hard time, but he holds it off. I love Di Lorenzo. I think he's a quality right back. There's a few things he can't do from a right back's perspective. Acerbi and Buongiorno, they do pretty okay. Di Marco, who has been, he scored a stunner recently. Hopefully you saw that. Then the midfield, which I think was criticized going into this one, Jorginho, Barella, and Fratesi, wasted Italy's best chance in the first half, but his late runs inside the box were a threat. And this has been kind of his signature move, those deep runs into the box. He can burst. He's got that athleticism. I always rue the fact that Roma missed out on getting Fratesi back. Zaniolo, no surprise here for me. I don't think he's quality at this point. I just don't think he has the brain to be on the national team or to even be on a good Premier League side. I mean, he does okay for Villa, but I heard he's had some pretty bad performances. I saw him play once, and he didn't look good at all. Or I should say that his teammates didn't even pass to him. Okay, Raspadori, can he do the false 9? The answer after today is no. Can he build into something like the way that Totti was used by Spalletti? Perhaps, but I think that's a far cry. I think we're talking about 2 very different, even though both number 10s, 2 very different teams here. But I also want to take a look at this, guys. I'm going to look through a little bit of Twitter here, but check out this colorway that is said to be rumored by Footy Headlines. We can see a darker, bit of a more crimson burgundy-esque red with this bright orange. I love it. First of all, I love the orange colorway. That's like my favorite back to the early 2000s in those kits. And then even a darker red. If I could show you my whole interface here, it's that color. Like my phone case, which I'm filming off of, is that same color. So I'm pumped about this. I'm really looking forward to that. I hope it's a reality. I guess a little bit of personal stuff. Here's the picture behind me. I framed this when Italy won the Euro. I got this out of the newspaper. Obviously, in Italy, we were at the time, and man, it's a beautiful memory, and hopefully Italy can go on to repeat it. The Azzurri, do they have the team? I don't know. I will tell you that England and France have the team. I think it's England's probably to lose after getting to the final last time. Picked up some new shoes today. These Nikes are pretty cool. I usually don't wear fashionable stuff like that, but yeah, I like them a lot. So Spalletti had some comments as he reunites with Totti for the first time in 6 years. I'm going to read this off for you. And he says, there were many people who enjoyed this piece, even if deep down never argued. On the contrary, we always respected each other. And in an era of conflicts in which we adults tend to argue often, being here to embrace us by giving it to the children through their eyes can be a message for an even better future. And they met at a type of children event. I'm not sure if sick kids, something that. So what he says is like, there's always this purported drama that there was something deeper between him and Totti at, of course, towards the end of Totti's career. In fact, I think it was Pallotta. I think it was the ownership pushing him out. So, by the way, I recently spoke to Riccardo Diagnese here, and I was looking to maybe even do a map with him. He's a little too busy, but anyway, you could check out his stuff. I posted the link on eBay here, which this makes a good little ornament in your office, your bedroom. Like that, they're pretty cool. Every so often, yeah, his maps go viral, and people are like, "Oh, what is it? Where it's from?" It's from him, so you could check out his page there. Or if you don't know where to find it, just let me know in the comments and I can link. By the way, you know what to do in those. Just share your thoughts for sure. Let me know what you're thinking also about this, which I think went way too under the radar, is how beautiful the Curva Sud was following the Derby. during the Derby. There was actually money raised for this around the clubs. I know that Roma Club New York ran a bit of a fundraiser for it as well, and it came out just looking stunning. That's one of the most beautiful. You can see on the top screen there those lightning bolts, and there's a centurion Roman soldier there in the front and center. Reminds us of our faithful channel patron uh, I just had Germanicus. There we go. Sorry, Germanicus. But Totti and Nakata met in Japan. Let's look a little bit about not all of this that I'm going to share here, but I want to go down to first those rumors about Madrid. He says, "Yeah, I could have gone, but fortunately I stayed. It was right like this for the love of the fans, for me, for the team. I played for Roma for 30 years, in the first team for 25, which is insane to think about." He says they made me stop. Otherwise, I would still be playing. With what we have in Serie A today, there's no need to even rush. But there are too many games at stake. The coach must be good at understanding how to set up the team. That kind of hurts me because I wish that Totti had gone on and used in a different type of role. He's asked, "What do you think about Mourinho's Roma?" And this is Nakata. They're having a conversation in Japan. And he says, "Ups and downs. For me, he's one of the best in the world because the numbers cannot be changed. It may be early, but if you win all those titles, Roma made 2 finals in 2 years. It never happened. It had never happened in 100 years for Roma." Then about the environment, the team, the environment in Rome is beautiful, but in particular, you go from riches to rags in an instant. We were lucky, especially for him, to find the perfect year. But in the year of the Scudetto, not even you could leave Trigoria. There were 5,000 fans. It says, but it was nice to experience something that cannot be described. Roma is a place different from all the others. Now, the point that inspired me to talk about this is this last point here. Would you like to return to Roma? He says, it depends on what you do. Well, you're saying like what I would do. I would like to have a role alongside the team as technical director. We are men of the pitch. If we don't do it ourselves, he says, what else would you do? So maybe travel to learn about other cultures. Here in Japan, I didn't come until the World Cup 20 years ago. I feel good. You're quite warm here too, meaning like you're quite hospitable and everyone's just cool and comfortable. So the one thing I take away from that is Totti's not going to come back to this team unless it is, like he said, in some type of sporting role. He doesn't want to just be a figurehead. That was the issue the first time around. You got to get him involved. You got to really use him in a proper role, get him involved in the locker room with the players, whether that's bringing them in, being like a third coach, somebody who can talk to the players when they come on the bench, how to approach matches, how to handle them, how to keep leads, how to get back and win games. I think that those are the fundamentals that Francesco could really bring to this team. So I had planned to go over as well as Capello, and he had a couple comments. And he also says Mourinho is still the ideal coach for Roma. He says he surely is ideal, having experienced many situations during his career. It will help him emerge from a difficult situation, meaning the one that Roma is in right now. Is Roma in a difficult situation? I think that based off the Derby, still people feel very sorely about that. But he also talked a little bit about the Mercato. He said it's not a mystery that Roma have gambled on several players with a significant transfer history. For now, they don't have the right numbers because this lottery has not brought the results that they had hoped. I don't think that it's fair to say like Capello was taking shots at Roma. I think he's maybe a little bit out of touch with saying like, oh, they could only bring in free players. Well, yeah, that's due to financial fair play. That's the reality. Will Roma continue to do that? Depending on the issues with financial fair play, apparently a lot of that has been eased up in the coming Mercato. Roma can finally spend some money. There are rumors about a Saudi Arabian takeover or any rumor, or I should say anybody that perhaps the Friedkins have run their course if they can't get the stadium done. I honestly feel that like they will move on, but the mayor of Rome feels confident that Roma will go ahead and be building that stadium, hopefully have it ready for the club's 100th anniversary. But the Euros in Italy are on the horizon, and that's a great thing when it comes to pushing legislation forward and getting things done. Guys, let's talk soon. We've got our game coming up next weekend. Udinese. Pellegrini should be back. Will he get some minutes? Let's see. Leave a like, comment. Thanks. We'll talk soon. Ciao, ciao.